going on, guys? It's okay. Today I'm going to be talking about some things rather interesting concerning the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, as well as what we found out concerning some of the maps involving in Modern Warfare 2. So if you do find the video interesting, give the video a thumbs up. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new, hit the notification bell to not upload. Let's get into this. So, as you guys can see, according to this rather interesting screenshot that was left on Twitter, it looks like Marina Bay Grand Prix, which was the map that was allegedly taken down for alleged copyright or something along them lines between Activision and Formula 1, has now been renamed from Marina Bay Grand Prix to Crown Raceway, as per this screenshot. Now, apparently this screenshot was taken from the actual maps in a, I guess you could say like a non-online mode, so it was in like a local version of Modern Warfare 2 outside of multiplayer, and we still don't have any direct messages to say why Marina Bay Grand Prix was taken down. This is still assumption at this present moment in time. However, it looks to be renamed, possibly due to the legal rights, I suppose, of the actual name in real life of the Marina Bay circuit. But that's really interesting there, guys. What are you guys' thoughts of that? Let me know in the comments box down below. So that's really interesting there. Found out some rather interesting information about the campaign as a whole and what the name of the missions are and how long it would normally take to complete the actual campaign itself. And from what we understand so far, there is currently, I believe, 10 missions, or maybe maybe 10 or 12 if I'm not mistaken. So the Modern Warfare 2 campaign takes between 6 and 10 hours to complete. Of course, this will vary depending on the difficulty and the player, but you can expect to sink in between 6 and 10 hours into the campaign before it comes to a close. Although Modern Warfare 2 follows the tradition of short Call of Duty campaigns, there's still a ton for completionists to discover. Completing every objective will require players to explore every inch of the campaign and its missions, with a notable improvement made to enemy AI, or artificial intelligence, raising the campaign difficulty in Modern Warfare 2 has more of an impact than ever. If you crank up the difficulty, expect the campaign to take longer to complete. So, at this present moment in time, the Modern Warfare 2 campaign consists of 17 missions in total. The campaign will take place around the world as they get reacquainted with Task Force 141. Players shouldn't expect an average time per mission, as some are shorter than others, but here's every mission in Modern Warfare 2's campaign. So they're called Strike, Kill or Capture, Wet Work, Tradecraft, Borderline, Cartel Protection, Close Air, Hardpoint, Recon by Fire, Violence and Timing, El Sin Nombre, Dark Water, Alone, Prison Break, Hindsight, Ghost Team, and Countdown. These are the chapters you can expect to experience in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Given the modest playtime, you should be able to run through them pretty quickly before the full game launches on October 28th. Now, as you guys can probably tell by my face cam, I'm currently away in America at the moment to watch the American Grand Prix in Formula 1, so I will be getting some gameplay very soon here on the channel when I return back to the UK on the 28th, which is, I believe, launch day for Modern Warfare 2, so make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. I'll keep you guys updated when I return, and I'll see if I can get some gameplay for you guys. How to access the Modern Warfare 2 gunsmith and firing range early has actually been found out by Charlie Intel. Now, the gunsmith system has become a staple of Call of Duty games in recent years, with players wading through a sea of thousands of different attachments for their favourite guns to create near endless loadouts. Whereas the firing range will be a new way of testing out guns, assessing the recoil of a loadout, as well as teaching it to improve aim. Both were recently announced as being in Modern Warfare 2 well ahead of time, but despite only being intended for a release date, players can actually access both now. So it looks like, as you guys can see from this rather interesting screenshot, Modern Warfare 2 Gunsmith and Firing Range Early Access. So if you pre-ordered Modern Warfare 2 and have the ability to dive into the game's campaign early, then you'll be permitted to browse the game's menus, which is how you'll enter the Gunsmith and Firing Range prematurely. To browse these extra pieces of content, you have to follow these instructions so they access the game's home screen, either on PC or on console. If you connect a keyboard, press F6. Doing so will let you see both gunsmith and firing range options. Click on either to fully investigate them, so that's really interesting there. This method is confirmed for both PC and console gamers, so no one who owns MWII will need to feel left out. Some players have reported that selecting the firing range option led to their game crashing. It's unknown if Activision will patch this out or block any further attempts to access these off-limits functions, but in any event, it's also given players a cheeky look at the game's camos in the game as well. So that's really interesting there. What are we guys thoughts of that in the comments? Apparently, during the campaign, within 2 specific campaign missions, apparently there's some safe codes to crack in the missions El Sin Nombre and Alone. So that's from what we understand. Now, if you don't want any spoilers in this, guys, click away from this video now. I'd probably recommend that for those who don't want any spoilers before the game's official release. So, while Call of Duty fans gave up the launch of Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, those who pre-ordered have access to the campaign early, giving players an early look at the game's dramatic story. As players rush to complete the campaign and find out where the sequel of Modern Warfare 2019 story will go, some like to take it more slowly, completing missions with the aim of achieving trophies and achievements. One of the achievements can cause players some issues in Gentleman Thief, which requires players to open 3 safes in the campaign. For those interested in completing this achievement, the Modern Warfare 2 safe codes and their locations. So, El Sin Nombre safe location and codes. So the first safe that players will be opening is in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, is in the mission El Sin Nombre. This safe can be found in the El Sin Nombre mansion within Diego's bedroom inside of a cupboard. And the safe code is 020280. Now, I haven't physically seen what's inside any of these cupboards, but apparently these are potentially teasers or some sort of safe location, but we'll have to wait and see. I personally want to be surprised as to find out what's inside all of these, so don't give any what's the one I'm looking for? Spoilers in the comments, but I'll keep you guys updated once I find out what's actually in these. There's 2 safes in Alone, and the first can be found and opened in the manager's office of the coffee shop. On the floor next to the desk in the office, you'll find the first safe. And the second one is found close by in a garage and repair shop called El Maestro Garage, which can be seen on the right-hand side of the road, just before entering the alleyway on the way to the church. Crawl under the door and into the office of the garage shop, and you'll find the second safe. The first safe for the manager's office of the coffee shop is 101080. The second safe in the garage and repair shop is 376080. So I'm keen to find out what's actually in these safes, but it should be interesting to find out what that's all about, guys. So if I manage to find these, guys, I will post some gameplay, like I say, when I return back from America on the 28th. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Now, again, if you don't want any spoilers, click away from this video, like I say. But the Modern Warfare 2 campaign ending and post-credit scene has been explained. Now, Modern Warfare 2 campaign went live in early access on October 20th, so yesterday, and the ending and post-credit scene have some major implications for the franchise going forward. And here's a breakdown of both scenes and what they mean for Modern Warfare. So, for those who don't know, Modern Warfare 2 picks up a few years after MWII 2019 ends, with a fully formed Task Force 141 now operating worldwide. After a terrorist group gets its hands on American missiles, Task Force 141 teams up with Mexican special forces to find them. Once the story is wrapped up, the final 2 cutscenes have major implications for the timeline. Of course, there are major spoilers from MWII 2's campaign here, but we're breaking down what this final cutscene and post-credit scene means. Okay guys, here come the spoilers. With Sayani dead and the missiles detonated safely, Price and Laswell are recuperating at a bar in a scene that's reminiscent of MWII 2019's final cutscene. However, instead of assembling Task Force 141, the gang is together this time. With Shepard off the grid, Laswell wants Price and his team to investigate the ultra-nationalists that ambush the Shadow Company convoy. She reveals they're working with someone new, and Task Force 141 instantly recognizes that this is Makarov. Now, Vladimir Makarov was the main antagonist, of course, of the original Modern Warfare franchise during, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was it MW2? Or was it? I'm trying to think if it's MW2 or MW3. Anyway, by pulling the strings in the background, Makarov kicked off World War III and had a particular hatred for Price and Soap for their involvement in Sakayev's death. After his plans were finally foiled in MW3, that's right, Price hanged Makarov by wrapping a steel cable around his neck and dropping him through a glass skylight. That was, of course, in the very final mission of MW3. As you guys can see, it's worth sticking around until after the credits, as Modern Warfare 2 has a post-credits scene that further teases what's to come. With Makarov confirmed, this post-credits scene sets the stage for his most heinous act from the original games. No, Russian. Now, this was the controversial mission during Modern Warfare 2, and this involved, of course, killing lots of innocent people within the terminal airport. And I'm pretty sure most people will probably recognise that. And no Russian were the two words that actually were mentioned during the elevator scene. And that's he tried to frame America to kickstart Russia's invasion of the US in World War III. The infamous Russian event, which is an instruction to only speak English, is now canon in the Modern Warfare 2019 universe, and whether it will be continued in Spec Ops or a future title remains to be seen. So I want to know what you guys' thoughts are of that. Let me know in the comments box down below. I'm keen to hear what you guys' views and opinions are. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please smash the subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bells on the same mode. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace out.